Matt Acton, his first start for Melbourne Victory this season. Getting the nod over Max Crocombe this evening. Four goals for Jake Brimmer this season. He scored one tonight. Is there more to come from the Melbourne Victory midfielder? Grant Brebner is the coach of the Melbourne Victory. He's been good enough to join us now. Grant, I dare say you'd be pleased with what you've seen in that first 45.
Yeah, Zappers, it was encouraging from us. I think probably first 10 minutes we were a little bit cagey, probably a little bit thinking of last week. But yeah, 35 minutes, really pleased with it. Robbie's looking like he's in good form tonight, and we need to keep finding him with the ball.
And Grant, what was the message at half-time? Did you want anything to change, or are we going to see any changes?
Yeah, we will make a few changes, Arch, but we need to continue being aggressive. We need to keep finding Callum, finding Cruzy, and trying to turn them, and of course finishing off in the front third.
And having JP there, does that help lift the intensity a little bit? He's up and down off his chair.
Yeah, my ears are ringing standing next to him.
Thanks for joining us, Brett. Grant Brebner there, the coach of the Melbourne Victory. As he said, much improved. Still work to do. Let's see what changes come for Melbourne Victory in this second half. Ben Falami has been one of the changes coming into the starting 11 this evening. He's had a terrific first half. No changes from either side at half-time. Anderson. Falami. Traore, another of those inclusions for Melbourne Victory this evening. Returning from injury, he makes a big difference to this side. Anderson gives it away there, and gee, that's a rash challenge from the young defender. He had to stop Stephen Mork because he was away, the Adelaide United captain. Let's hope he's not injured. And Aaron Anderson will go into the book there, his third yellow card for the season.
Well, he almost played himself into trouble there, and he almost had to make that foul, because if he didn't, Stephen Mork had acres of room to be able to attack. But I guess from Adelaide United's point of view, I'd probably like to see Ryan Strain a little bit more involved, because I know that they get a lot of joy down the right-hand side with that relationship between Ben Halloran and Ryan Strain. Just haven't seen enough of it tonight, and also too for the central part of that midfield, just to be wary of Robbie Cruz, because he's just finding a lot of space.
Here's a dangerous position for Melbourne Victory to defend here. DeRigo, not a bad ball in. The header comes, Matt Acton spills it. The flag goes up for a foul on the keeper. Great ball in by Luis DeRigo, creating a headache for Melbourne Victory defensively.
Well, it's a beautiful ball in. Just in that area where it's really dangerous. Does the keeper come or does he not? But in those sort of situations, you're always going to give the benefit of the doubt to the defender or the goalkeeper. But it was a beautiful delivery in there.
Al Hassan Toure, first time. Now Strain. Tried to find the overlapping run of Halloran. Toure goes down, and Adama Traore is the one that wins the free kick.
Well, Adama Traore, he doesn't go down easy. I wonder if there was high studs. Oh, look, there was nothing in it. It was a 50-50. It was a clashing of shins, I think, there.
Biggest legs in the A-League. Adama Traore doesn't miss leg day. Archie, you played alongside him.
Well, you know, if I was Stephen Mork, I'd be watching out, because, you know, Adama Traore tends to remember those sort of challenges. And I'm sure he's ticked it off in the back of his mind. Stephen Mork. Let's just see what happens.
Let's watch that one. 278 yellow cards, 5.2 per game coming into tonight's game, the most in any matchup in the A-League. And tonight hasn't disappointed either on that front. Falami couldn't control that one. Strain. Nowhere to go there. Good defensive pressure by Butterfield. Traore with the quick throw-in. Cruz and Butterfield. Here's Broxham. Sweeping it out. But that was well read by the Spaniard. Throw-in victory. Jake Brimmer winning the throw.
Bit of a tentative start from both teams. Obviously difficult to be able to lift that intensity like it was in the first half.
Here's Goodwin, tangle behind play. Spieth allows play to continue. Goodwin. Now Strain. Ben Halloran. Now Luis Dorigo. Adelaide looking for a way through. Halloran, not a bad ball in. Broxham did well to read it because Al Hassan Toure was there, Archie.
Beautiful ball in. Some pace.
Had that whip on it too, didn't it?
You felt like if that ball got over, he didn't really need to generate any power. Just head it back from where it comes from. Beautiful defending.
Broxham comes across to cut that one out. Just dead tall, but he couldn't rise quite for that one. This is Jordan Elsey now for the Reds. It's a terrific diagonal ball to Ben Halloran. Now Luis Dorigo in space. That pass from Dorigo was looking for Al Hassan Toure. Just couldn't find his range.
Victory almost starting the way they did in that first half. Just a little bit tentative, not getting into any kind of rhythm, getting hold of the ball. Sometimes the message doesn't get heard at halftime about you need to come out with that intensity.
Lee Broxham, the man who now needs to score a goal. 142 games between goals, Archie, after Alex Wilkinson scored for Sydney FC this afternoon. I reckon you might remember the last goal that Lee Broxham scored as well, Archie. Sydney FC, grand final, Amy Park. 2014?
Yeah,
long time ago.
Very long time ago.
That was the last goal that the Melbourne Victory captain scored. Here's Halloran now for the Reds. Promising move. Ball in. Broxham clears it. Mork. Now Goodwin. Plays it back. Here's Cavallo. To Goodwin again. Adelaide continue to press. Good opportunity for Toure. Well defended at the near post. Aaron Anderson was there and needed to be.
Well, this is where Adelaide are dangerous. You've seen the run by Lopez. He just ran along the line and made that darting little run in behind, and Goodwin found him in a beautiful hard ball into that near post.
Here's Lopez again. Oh, that's a tough challenge, and not a fair one either, and that yellow card count continues. Storm Rue goes into the book.
Yeah, just lunges at him. I don't think there was any intent or malice there, but just a little bit late, and whenever you're showing any studs in those sort of situations, referee's going to give a free kick.
Melbourne Victory preparing to make their first change of the evening. Luis Laurie Latanzio about to enter the fray. Adelaide United also preparing a change. But not before this free kick for Craig Goodwin to take. Goodwin to the far post. Mork was there, but so was Broxham. Cavallo! A terrific First-time effort from the Adelaide United man who starts for the first time in the red shirt tonight. Former Melbourne Victory boy, of course, played in the youth team. What a story that would have been. Clean hit, Archie.
That's a beautiful strike. Always so difficult when the ball's so high in the air to get any kind of technique or the right purchase on it.
Look at this space for Robbie Cruz now for Melbourne Victory. What can they conjure here? McManaman. Callum McManaman shimmies, finds space. Too many red shirts in the way. Good defensive play by the Reds.
The ball just seemed to get caught at his feet. There was a beautiful overlapping run by Storm Roo. If he just maybe had his head up.
Terrific ball inside by Traore for Cruz. Now a chance for Victory. McManaman goes at it. Lopez, Gavi Lopez, terrific, expert, great defending. So a couple of changes now, one for either side. It'll be Melbourne Victory to make the first change. Rudy Gested coming off. He's had an interrupted pre-season. So Grant Brevner deciding to give him 55 minutes, and Luis Laurie Latanzio is the one to come on. Another man who has just returned from injury, El Hassan Toure, coming on to the park for the Reds. Kusini Yengi. Just not happy, Archie. I think he picked up that he had a few words as he was coming off.
Yeah, look, I don't know if he's actually maybe come down a little bit lame, because he did signal to the physio. He was a bit distraught about coming off. I don't know if it was because he was coming off or he felt something, but I actually thought that he was making some really smart runs there. Robbie Cruz turned into so much space and attacked that space, opted to go for McManaman, but just dead in that middle there was just making a smart little run where Roby just played into his feet. Almost that momentum would take him on to goal.
Yeah, well spotted, Archie. He's getting that knee iced. Here's Butterfield. Jacob Butterfield, was seen him score from long range already for Melbourne Victory this season. And the highlights reel from his time in England has seen a few long-range screamers as well. Kalami gives away the free kick. Now Strain moves it along quickly for the Reds. This is the substitute. He does well. Does really well. Yengi now for Adelaide United. Hits the post. Unbelievable what a start that would have been for the young man off the bench. Now Goodwin goes down. Free kick, Adelaide United. Kusini Yengi almost announced his time on the big stage with his first touch, Archie.
Well, it was a beautiful ball by Ryan Strain. Aaron Anderson, though, Laurie, Aaron Anderson just gets his body shape wrong and just falls awkwardly, but Yengi has one thought in mind, and it's that to go goal. He saw the near post, kept it low. But Aaron Anderson just got it all wrong in the start, almost allowed Yengi to be able to get around the outside of him. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. It did land awkwardly. And that's one thing they can't go without. Can go without is another player injured, especially in that
centre-back. Another centre-back. Nick Ansell already out injured. Ryan Shotton already out injured. Lee Broxham playing as a makeshift centre-half tonight. So they've had some rotten luck in that position.
It was the body shape that almost caused him to get in that position where he's hurt himself. I know that maybe he should have just let that ball be played into him and just shadow him out, because he was going nowhere. He was miles away. He was out wide. Just show him down the line. You don't need to win that ball in that situation if you can't.
Well, he's going to attempt to come back on Aaron Anderson, but not before Craig Goodwin steps up. This is a terrific position for Craig Goodwin to have a strike at goal for Adelaide United. Craig Goodwin over the crossbar.
Well, it's always so difficult when you're so close to the 18-yard box to get the right purchase, to be able to get it up and over the wall. We know that he's capable of it. When he saw against Newcastle, that long range when he hit the post, has that in his locker, but just couldn't get it down.
Salami flicks it on. Robbie Cruz can't control it, but fortuitously falls for Falami again. That's good footwork. It almost paid off. Almost found Cruz. It falls for victory though. Brimmer sweeps it out. Lopez did well to cut it. Goodwin couldn't control it, and Victory have another opportunity. McManaman comes in on the right, takes the shot, blocked. Butterfield held back, was he? No. Moore gets it away to Halloran. Fancy footwork by Ben Halloran. Can't get past the Adama Traore though, and Adelaide clear. This is Yengi. Does very well. Good body shape. Passes it off to Cavallo. And now Goodwin. Back to Cavallo. Numbers back for Melbourne Victory. McManaman doing well, Archie, to track back and cut out that foray forward. Here are the Reds continuing to press. Game in the balance. What a ball that is for Goodwin. And now Yengi, and he does it. The substitute comes on. He tried on the first attempt, he couldn't do it. But guess what, he can on the second. And he goes to the Melbourne crowd and says, look at me, I've done it. 2-1 Adelaide.
For me, it was that run by Guam, that the ball was even better to find him. You could see that acceleration off the line to get in there. Lopez with that pass. And Yengi just pushes off his defender. And Goodwin in those sort of situations doesn't miss his mark, has his head up. Yengi finds half the space. And look, you won't get an easier finish than that. But it was a beautiful pass from Lopez. Inch perfect in the run.
His first goal in the A-League comes on in a matter of minutes. Kusini Yengi scores for Adelaide United. 22-year-old made his debut last season against Western Sydney. And he'll remember this night, Archie, for a long, long time. Melbourne Victory make a change. Ben Falami coming off. And Brandon Lawton is the one to enter the fray. Now, some questions will be asked again of the home side.
Well, I just wonder who was following Craig Goodwin in, because he just accelerated off the line. Still had a lot of time to be able to get that ball. From Graham Brebner's point of view, not following that run inside be really disappointing, because we know that that's where they get a lot of their attacks from. I was telling you about the way that they love to get out wide, get crosses in, but also start their attacks from there. And it was a wonderful pass in.
We saw Aaron Anderson go down just minutes before, struggling to come back on, struggling with that injury. And Yengi, the 22-year-old, just all power, all strength and composure. Wasn't the, as you said, right in front of goal, Archie, but he still had to change his body around and make sure he made clean contact.
It was almost that body check on the defender.
What about that for a celebration? What about that from the young man? The swag, Archie.
I don't know about that, mate.
Oh, come on. I reckon you did that on a couple of occasions here at Marvel Stadium.
True. I just know that for Melbourne Victory supporters, they're already hurting as it is. Just rub salt in the wound.
Victory try and find a way forward. The handball, was it there? No, it was an offside. I tell you what about this Adelaide United side. A lot of these boys have come through the youth system. They've played junior football in Adelaide. Carl Viet has picked them out, has spent years with them. They followed the Adelaide United side. This means a lot to them. This is their biggest game of the season against Melbourne Victory. They don't call it the original rivalry for nothing, Archie. And these boys who watched their team at Cooper Stadium as youngsters come here tonight, represent their side, and good on him. He stuck it right up him, as they used to say, as the great old Teddy Whitten used to say. He has arrived on the big stage, and he wants to let the Melbourne Victory supporters know all about it.
Well, it's how Melbourne Victory respond. And what you're touching on that, if you're an Adelaide youngster watching your Adelaide team, especially in its heyday, because these rivalries are big. It stems back to the grand finals. And you already know, it's already in your DNA.
Now, Stephen Moore just stood his ground there, got the deflection from the free kick, which he's allowed to do. This could be another one. Halloran over the top, wasn't far away. Now look at the space for Butterfield. This has got everything tonight. Don't go anywhere. This game has plenty more to come, Archie.
Well, Melbourne Victory, they just need to get frustrated. I know the way that they conceded that goal would be so disappointing. But you don't want to play into Adelaide's hands and start giving away silly fouls, kicking balls in the players. Just get back to how you were playing, because you're well in this game. Again, it's just keeping those leaders and experienced players more involved in the game.
Well, Melbourne Victory, if you just tuned in, took the lead in this game through Jake Brimmer. Stephen Mork responded before half-time to make it 1-1. And now Adelaide United have come from behind to take the lead. Will there be more pain inflicted on the Victory? Yengi, that was terrific from the young man. There's another yellow card. Lee Broxham goes into the book, and Lee Broxham will be suspended next game for Melbourne Victory. That's 5 yellow cards for the Melbourne Victory captain.
Well, Yengi's already had an impact in this match. It was a great little flick on from Mork. For a big boy, he has great touches, a lot of speed, so he almost had that yard to kind of see where Lee Broxham was, tap it past him. You had to foul him in that situation because there was no one supporting Lee in that situation.
Well, I spoke about the yellow card count in this game. 5 already tonight. And coming into this one, there were 278 yellow cards. 5.2 per game. We're right on target, Archie, and there's still plenty of time to go. Yeah, technically 6. Been informed with the one for Aloisi, but here's a ball to the back. Oh, how about that? Crushed off the crossbar. That could have been disaster for Melbourne from Lee Broxham. The offside flag is up, and Chris Beath does spot it, and it comes back.
Yeah, worrying signs for Melbourne Victory. They just need to keep their head, like I said. It's only 2-1. They were well in this game before they conceded. Just need to start to find Robbie Cruz a little bit more. I know you can almost see the way that they're scanning now that space that's not allowing him to have that freedom, which was probably something Carl Veer talked about at half-time.
Traore. Now Brimmer. Nice run. Lawton. Terrific ball for Robbie Cruz. What can Robbie Cruz do here? He's running out of real estate. Tried to chip it over, but good work from the young keeper to read it. Gauchi claims.
Beautiful run by Robbie Cruz. But the tracking from Joshua Cavallo in that situation didn't really allow him to have that space to pick out anyone, and all he could really do was loft it to the back post, but Gauchi stands tall in that situation.
Melbourne Victory's record after COVID, since returning from COVID, 3 of their past 15 games have amounted in wins, Archie. It's the record which that Melbourne Victory coach knows needs to improve, and he said it during the week. It's time for action, not words. Here's Cruz. Receives the return from McManaman. Robbie Cruz plays it in. Brad Lawton is there, and Braden Lawton, I should say, couldn't get enough purchase on the header.
You almost think if Rudy just dead was on the pitch, that's the sort of ball that he'd love to attack. McManaman finding that space. I'd just like to see probably McManaman a little bit more on the shoulders of Lopez, that when he does receive that ball, he's already beaten him where he doesn't need to almost beat him with some kind of skill.
Robbie Cruz was just touching his hamstring there, just put his hand on the back of that hamstring. Let's hope he's okay. He's had plenty of injuries in the last couple of years. That'll be a huge blow. We're going to find out a lot about Melbourne Victory in the next 20 minutes, Archie. Have they got a response? Traore. Lawton. Now Brimmer. Good sharp pass for Traore. Now Robbie Cruz cuts it back. Here's a great chance for Melbourne. And McManaman just puts it. Couldn't get the purchase on it. It was sharp, the pass. Perhaps just needed to be a little bit ahead of Callum McManaman, just behind him.
Yeah, I think Robbie Cruz was just caught offside there, so they let that play continue. You almost think if he wasn't offside, that ball across to Laurie Latanzio was the one that I would have picked out, because he was about a half a yard in front of his defender. All Robbie needed to do was put in an area where he could attack. But I'd like to see a little bit more from other players in that front third. Robbie Cruz seems to be making a lot of runs in behind Loughton and Laurie Latanzio, McManaman. These are sort of runs that they need to be making too.
Strain. Halloran winning the free kick. It's been a great battle tonight, hasn't it? Halloran and Traore.
Ben Halloran sees a funny side of it. He's a funny character, Ben Halloran. He's always so calm in those sort of situations, always plays with a smile. Adama, on the other hand, real intense competitor. Sometimes even when I was playing with him, I didn't know whether to joke or take things seriously.
What about that back heel? Now Yengi. Now why not? Why not try from there after you've just scored moments after coming on as a substitute? Stefan Mork, absolutely brilliant in the build-up to that play with that back heel for the young substitute.
Yeah, he's really made that position his. A lot more involved in that attacking play. Again, just adds another element to his game. But Yengi, yeah, when you're full of confidence, you're young, score your goal. You almost feel like anything you touch can turn a goal, even from 40 yards out.
What about the Melbourne Victory crowd every time he goes near the ball? He's the villain. Gauci under pressure. Does well to squeeze out the pass. And Melbourne Victory player down behind play, and this could be another concern. Aaron Anderson, we saw him go down in that challenge just minutes ago. It goes from bad to worse for the home side. They're literally without a centre-back, Archie. All of them in the squad. Nick Ansell, Ryan Shotton, Aaron Anderson, now injured.
Yeah, it's difficult And they're key positions in your team. You want to have centre-backs and not makeshift ones. I know that Lee Broxham goes in there and does a role and does a role really well. But you want to have players that play that position week in, week out.
Well, Dylan Ryan's the other one who's not in the squad tonight, so perhaps that has backfired on Grant Brebner by not having him on the bench tonight.
Well, look, you can just name your squad and you never know what's going to happen in a match. For Grant, you'd have to also think how many ladders has he walked under before this season started, because you wouldn't go into a season thinking, okay, I've got all these centre-backs and all of a sudden they're all injured. So, I mean, it's difficult to obviously gauge and set a squad and have those sort of elements go against you.
I suppose the question will be asked, is it poor management or is it just bad luck? Ryan Shotton injured himself with a throw-in against the Wellington Phoenix. Nick Ansell has had soft tissue injuries for a long time. Here's Traore. Robbie Cruz. We're up against it now, the home side. Zayden Bello is the player to come on for Aaron Anderson. Pass was almost there from Traore. Now the Reds can get it away to Rigo. Yengi, look at the pace on him. Body to body with Lee Broxham, and the Melbourne Victory captain stood his ground and wasn't quite body to body, said Chris Beef. Perhaps a little shove in the back.
Lee Broxham does really well there, knowing the speed of Yengi in those situations. Just feels a touch and goes down. When we talk about the defence and the defenders going down, Dylan Ryan obviously went down because he hurt his knee, got himself in an awkward situation. Aaron Anderson probably didn't need to make the challenge that he did, gets body shape wrong, falls over, injures himself. Ryan Shotton, in all his career, he said to me after that match, something like that's never happened to him. And Nick Ansell, where, you know, you just feel like he's starting to get some game time and the body holds up, and then a day out, he injures himself.
Here's Yengi. Great ball in for Stefan Mork, and Stefan Mork makes it 3. That is going to be tough to come back now for Melbourne Victory. The substitute once again having a huge impact, and the Adelaide United captain makes his mark yet again. What a season he's having. What a season. Adelaide United now looking for 4 on the trot. They're going to be hard to peg back right now.
Well, that's just too easy. Yengi gets the ball. Yengi gets the ball here. Bello just comes on, just doesn't show enough strength in that. And Yengi just has time to pick out a pass, but Stefan Mork, the run, who's following in there? No one's close to him. But this is a game, and this is a part of the game that's really improved for Stefan Mork. It's the runs into the box. It's that eagerness to be there. And for Yengi, to have that time in the box and not get closed down, really childhood defending for me.
And you know, we spoke about it, Archie. We spoke about the changes at centre-back and the lack of cohesiveness they've got there now. Really tough for Melbourne Victory to shuffle the deck, find the solution at the back, and they paid the price there. What an impact he's had. 1 goal, 1 assist is coming on as a substitute in the second half.
Well, look, for me, the amount of time he had in that box, no one's making a challenge on him. And then Stefan Mork makes a late run in, and no one follows that. So I know we talk about the attacking woes maybe in front of goals for Melbourne Victory, but when you're conceding like you have, I mean, second worst record defensively after 10 games behind Central Coast Mariners. And that just shows and amplifies right there. And for me right now, I don't know where this Melbourne Victory team need to go or where they need to look. I know they brought JP in. It's only been a week. The intensity they started this first half with just didn't seem to flow into the second. Rudy Justeg going off injured certainly didn't help things, because I felt like with him on the pitch, they looked in sync in that front third, but schoolboy defending allows...
You're saying
Adelaide.
Not picking up that run from Stephen Moore?
Well, yeah, look at how Yengi has that time to be able to pick him out, and no one follows Stephen Moore.
Here he is again, the Adelaide United captain. He could get worse here for Victory. Halloran blocked by Traore. He's been immense tonight for Melbourne Victory, Adama Traore.
But again, it comes down from the right side. We're seeing Craig Goodwin make a darting run. Who's following in there? Gets the ball in acres of space and delivers the ball. Yengi has acres of space in the ball, and Stephen Moore makes a run. These are really basic defensive duties that your players need to know what to do.
Touched on Dylan Ryan. You did correct me, I should say, that Dylan Ryan is injured, so he couldn't be on the bench tonight. And that's another of the central defenders, 4 of them now on the injury list for Melbourne Victory. He picked up that injury in that game against the Wellington Phoenix on the same night that Ryan Shotton got injured.
But me saying that, look, I'm not taking anything away from the way that Adelaide United took their goals. Okay, no one's following that run from Craig Goodwin, but it was an electric run that was with intent. And it was the players in the box that want to score goals.
Here's Brimmer, who opened the scoring. Now another chance here for Melbourne Victory. The shot is saved. Perhaps the pass might have been the better option, Archie, but Luis Laurie-Latanzio took it on himself. In the end, it was a regulation save for the Adelaide United goalkeeper.
That was great play from Jake Brimmer.
Here's a terrific shot from a distance. It was dipping. He saw the opportunity, Butterfield, and he wasn't too far away. That would have brought the game back to life.
Yeah, it was a beautiful strike from Butterfield, but Jake Brimmer passes on to Laurie-Latanzio. Laurie-Latanzio does everything right there. Gets away from his defender and has the strike, but Gauci does really well. Butterfield, you know when the ball sits up lovely for him to hit the ball, he's going to hit it.
Brimmer to Traore. Loose possession again, Victory. Elsie moves it on quickly. Cavallo. He's been good. Cavallo coming to the starting 11 tonight for this first start for Adelaide United, replacing Joe Coletti. Melbourne boy. He's got friends and family here in the stands watching this evening. Spent time with Melbourne Victory in their youth setup. His brother is currently playing at Dandenong City in the Victorian NPL with another former Adelaide United man, Sasha Oganovsky, the coach there.
And they both possess beautiful left foots. I just look at the substitutions that Melbourne Victory made and Adelaide, and which ones have had the impact. And, you know, just with the speed that Melbourne Victory have, I just wonder why they aren't trying to make little runs in behind, why they aren't trying to play balls in behind just to turn the defence of Adelaide, because everything at the moment in front is just getting eaten up.
And one of the things that sums up Melbourne Victory's season so far, if you look at that defensive line at the moment, Adama Traore really is the only player playing in his position. Lee Broxson, Storm Rue playing as a centre-back, and Zayden Bello out on the right. Here's Robbie Cruz. Can he find an opening here? Well done, Jordan Elsey. He timed that beautifully, didn't he? And now here's Ryan Strain. Halloran v Traore. What a battle that's been. Halloran wins that one. Tries to cut it inside. Traore gets some help. Melbourne Victory win the free kick.
And that was a real example of when you have your centre-backs that are centre-backs and are not injured, and you're playing consistent football, the way that Jakobsen and Elsey have really patrolled that back four, just especially in this second half, because I felt like Robbie was getting way too much space and the midfielders have blocked that up. But you can just see when you've got that position sewed up with centre-backs, just makes a massive difference. And poor Zayden Bello comes in, loses the ball like he does. It's difficult, obviously, coming in and not having that intensity level straight away, and in that duel he loses it. But when they have got themselves in those situations to create, they've taken their chances.
Well, this will be 4 wins on the trot for Adelaide United. Victories over the Central Coast, Western Sydney and Newcastle, all coming by the margin of 1 goal, leading into tonight. That's an almighty run for Carl Veert's side. We talk about first-year coaches, Grant Brebner under pressure. But what about Carl Veert? His first full season in charge at the Reds. Here is another turnover. Goodwin, look at the acres of space. Yengi looking for Goodwin. He'll find Craig Goodwin. They almost walked it in, didn't they? Stephen Mork was making the run at the far post. Perhaps Craig Goodwin could have taken the shot, Archie. He's scored in his last 2.
When you give possession up like that really cheaply and you're already disorganised in the back line, any attack is going to lead to an opportunity on goal. But with Adelaide United, what Carl Veert has done with this squad, there was a lot of turnover in players. Troisi went, Riley McBree.
Riley McGree, yeah.
McBree, I thought I was thinking of McBreen.
You're thinking of Danny McBreen. He's still around. He's at Newcastle.
Well, Mitchell confused him, I tell you what. But those sort of quality players, and he's almost had to depend on the youngsters. And they've really delivered.
See Carl Veert yelling out instructions after that turnover. He's demanding excellence. This is Bello. He tries a shot. That's a terrific save. What a save from the young man, Joe Gauci. Well done, son. First game for Adelaide United, and it needed the intervention because this shot was on target.
It was a beautiful strike from Zayden Bello, but an even better save from Gauci.
And that would have made things interesting with 4 minutes remaining. Butterfield, Traore. Can victory find something? Cruz, who's toiled hard all night, Robbie Cruz, with little reward. Bello, v Mork, does well, Zayden Bello. And the pass inside by Lawton was looking for Robbie Cruz. They just weren't on the same page, Archie.
No, Robbie played a beautiful ball into him, just wanted it back. He almost had to just lay it off for him, and the momentum of Cruz would have taken on to goal.
Here's Laurie Latanzio trying to get around Ryan Strain. Strain wins it, and that is a goal kick for Adelaide United, who prepare now to make a double substitution. Joe Coletti about to make his way onto the park alongside Pacific Nyongabiri, the brother, of course, of Elvis Kamsoba. Elvis not in the matchday squad today for Melbourne Victory. Ben Halloran making his way off. And Stephen Mork, what a shift he's put in, the Adelaide United captain.
Yeah, well done. Again, he's just added that element to his game. And when you talk about leaders, and there's different types of leadership, Stephen Mork probably not that vocal one on the field, but what he does do is he leads from example. When you've got that sort of leadership, it stems and it flows through the squad. But just touching on Joe Gauci.
Here's Coletti. Here's another opportunity almost for Yengi's first touch was heavy. Hayden Bello cuts it out. The Reds keep coming. Butterfield with the intercept. Coletti. Now Goodwin.
And what I was saying on Joe Gauci is that as a Melbourne Victory player and as a striker, you would kind of know that he's a young keeper that hasn't played regular A-League football. Wouldn't you like to test him a little bit more? Maybe in and around that 18-yard box, as soon as you get an opportunity, just have a shot, because I just felt like there hasn't been enough, especially this second half.
Traore diving in and winning the free kick. Well, where to here for Melbourne Victory, Archie? Another loss. They're on the bottom of the table. Grant Brebner wanted a response from his side. He got it in the first half, but football's played over 90 minutes, not 45.
Yeah, well, that's what the Melbourne Victory fans will be saying. I was even excited by the way they played that first half. But, look, it's hard to obviously patch up what cracks are there in the space of a week. I know I touched on about JP coming in and adding that balance, especially in that coaching role in that staff. But again, when you got players going down injured in key positions, makes it so difficult. And especially in the heart of the defence, when you need to be strong.
3 minutes to be added to this one. Is there something here for Melbourne Victory? McManaman. Traore. Adelaide with plenty of numbers behind the ball now. Luis Latanzio gets it into the area, but a sea of red shirts clear the danger.
And that's the opportunity I was talking about. McManaman got himself in a good position. Jake Brimmer did so well with that one-touch football. He turns, and in his position, he could have probably a strike. I know he's probably maybe falling back in that situation, but turn and have a strike instead of maybe trying to dink the ball at the back post.
Adelaide United have won 5 of their last 6 games against Melbourne Victory, and that recent dominance continues tonight. Here's Pacific Nyongabiri in space. He has Yengi in the middle. Nyongabiri cuts it back. Yengi still going. Ball in dispute. Appeals for a handball. Free kick awarded to Victory.
It was a beautiful ball in behind. Almost had too much space and time to pick out a player. Yengi was only the one making it. You could see Craig Goodwin trying to get to the back post. But it was just too easy for me the way that ball was played in. I know Adama will be feeling it a little bit heavy, hasn't played much football.
There's the substitute again. Doesn't get any easier for Melbourne Victory. They travel to Sydney next week, Archie, to play the champions Sydney FC. Who came from behind today to win their game 2-1. Is there one last goal in this for the Reds? Goodwin, his cross cut out. Lopez has been terrific for them tonight. Coletti. Now Ryan Strain. Nyongabiri. Strain continues his run. Nyongabiri wasn't there. But Adelaide United come from behind tonight against their fierce rivals, Melbourne Victory. They were terrific after going behind 1-0 early on. Melbourne Victory consigned to yet another defeat in this suffering A-League season for those fans. those loyal fans who have come to Melbourne's Marvel Stadium tonight. They're planted on the bottom of the table, but Adelaide, 4 wins on the trot. They defeat Melbourne Victory here in Melbourne tonight by 3 goals to 1. Archie Thompson, so impressive, the Reds, the way they came back into that game.
Well, yeah, you know that they don't have a great record here in Marvel Stadium. I know that they're obviously full of confidence. 5 wins and now 6 wins in 7 games. They were just lethal in front of goal, but for me it was just that schoolboy defending, to let Craig Goodwin make that run in behind, plays the ball across, and also Joe Gauchi, I mean, for him to come in, outstanding.
Yeah, so many good stories there for Adelaide United tonight. None more so than their captain, Stephen Mork, who was outstanding once again. Congratulations, Stephen. A terrific response from your side after going down 1-0.
Yeah, it was. I think we started quite well. I thought we were pressing really well. We probably should have made better chances of our